what actually is philosophy? People throw around that word all the time. They say like, my philosophy is this, or wow, you're being super deep and philosophical or whatever. But if I told you to actually define it, you might just say something like, it's thinking of deep stuff, which like, what is that definition, bro? So to help, imagine this. Imagine you're a kid staring up at the stars and you ask your parents, what's beyond space? And then your parents say, well, it just keeps going. And then you look at them super confused and then you ask like, but then what's outside that? Like, what's outside the things that keep going? And then your parents like get quiet and they look at you like you're like a weirdo. That's basically philosophy. It's what happens when there are no more answers, but the questions keep going. If we get technical for a second, the word philosophy actually comes from two ancient Greek roots, philo meaning love and sophia meaning wisdom. So at its core, philosophy just means the love of wisdom, not owning wisdom, not preaching it, just chasing it. Some people think philosophy is just having vague reflections and thoughts, or it's like just using fancy words just to look smart with there being no real world use for it at all. Other people might think of just old men in robes arguing in candlelit halls. But philosophy isn't about how you look or how many big words you use. It's about asking the questions that don't go away. So for example, like, what is a mind? Do we have free will? What does it mean to be good? Or how do we even know what we know? Philosophy isn't one single subject. It's more like the root system that feeds all the others. So like before science was actually science, it was once actually called natural philosophy. And before logic became a branch of math, it also lived in philosophy. Even things like political theory, ethics, aesthetics, they're all there. But okay, here's the thing. Philosophy isn't just about old theories. It's a method. It's a way of thinking. You basically take a claim, any claim, and ask, why do we think that's true? What assumptions are hiding underneath it? And if we followed this idea all the way out, where would it lead? These are the type of questions philosophers ask, which is why you'll see philosophy in courtrooms, in AI debates, in climate ethics, in the way we talk about rights, truths, consciousness, identity, and a lot of other different things. It's not abstract. It's literally everywhere. Okay, but here is the catch. Philosophy rarely ever gives final answers. And that can be really frustrating, and I think that's what frustrates a lot of people. Some people might say, what's the point of doing any of this if it doesn't actually solve anything? Which I think is a fair question, but thinkers might push back to this and say, maybe that's the point. Philosophy doesn't close the case, it opens it. It helps us think better, not just feel smarter. And sometimes asking the question reshapes your life more than any answer could. Sometimes you get more out of the question than the answer it wants to provide. Okay, so like, what actually is philosophy? Well, it's that itch behind every explanation. It's like the voice that says, hold on, that sounds right, but is it? It's the tool we use to step back and rethink the whole system, not just the conclusion. I honestly really enjoy philosophy because it really shows me just how much we actually don't know. And that makes me more humble, curious, excited to learn and explore, and empathetic to others because honestly, we have no idea what's actually really happening. If you want to go a little bit deeper on this, you can check out Plato's Apology, Descartes' Meditations, or Bertrand Russell's The Problems of Philosophy. Or even just open a notebook and ask the oldest question you can think of and see where it takes you. But before you go, this video is going to cost you a subscribe, and I'm just going to turn this around so you can leave tips in the forms of likes and comments down below.